This one will take us back about a year. Verti-Gold. A regular 50s Les Paul standard, this one is not. Check out that top. It has this very interesting, unique, swirly pattern going on all over this. I really like optical illusion guitars, and I don't know if this one necessarily classifies as that, but I really like the use of the see-through pickguard because it slightly distorts what we're seeing right here. But if you look closely, that does not appear to actually be black. You can see a little bit of green going on. I'm hypothesizing that's where the Verti-Gold name comes from, as there's something called verdigris, which is that bluish to green hue that ends up happening to copper eventually. You know, the whole reason why the Statue of Liberty is green. It comes in many different hues. So, sure enough, it's like the gold is turning a sparkly green. It just looked black from far away, but nah, this photo definitely confirms that. In the August 19th episode back in 2024, the Mod Collection did a similar thing to an ES. Now, what I like about this one is the fact that the gold is the less stated color. It's the black layer that's a little bit larger. I think that worked great on this particular large-bodied instrument, which appears to be an ES345, judging by our 3-ply binding and inlays. And from far away, you can hardly even tell what exactly is going on. But the rest of this is just normal 50s standard gold top stuff. If you were so artistically inclined, you could technically take a paint marker and accomplish something similar, but I'm sure they gave it a new clear coat on top of all that. And oh, maybe it's not all green, because what do I see here? It's purple? So now I wonder, did they give it like a cosmic paint job and then mask it off and shoot gold over top of that? If anybody wants to use my forwarding service on that one, I know it's expensive, but I think that one's hidden gold as far as being cool. You better grab your plectrum for the Electrum Spectrum. I like it. It reminds me of some of the custom shop access guitars, except for this one's a Les Paul Modern. Very, very different finish. Green into yellow gecko. We still have our see-through knobs, but now we've got cream plastics. This all appears to be satin. You got that interesting white binding layer before going on to a darker version on the back. This looks like rosewood, but if it truly is a modern, it will be ebony, and you'll have real mother of pearl inlays. The back is an ashy see-through blue. If you look closely, you can indeed still see our mahogany wood grain, also satin like the top. It's a decent pairing with your nickel hardware, but that serial number stamp is looking a little light towards the end. And if most mod collections are too crazy for you, here's Sangria Sunburst. It's a 335 with our usual treatment here, giving it the natural neck and a new finish on the body's top and back. Reminds me of a peach iced tea, something like that. It's not quite a super bold interior. It's got more of that pale maple coming through with just a hint of yellow on top of that. I like a softer sunburst like that, but then they gave it ES330 style tuners. But that serial number dates to late 2024. And now a Mandarin Orange 50 standard. Interesting choice. So we got a glossy metallic top with a really flat, blackish gray back. So satiny goodness on the back if you like that as a player, and then you get all the beauty up front. Normally I would think black and red would mix well together, but I'm not so sure about this one. But maybe the red has a little bit of a color shifting, and that's why they called it Mandarin Orange. It's hard to judge just based on these stock photographies. But our Fruit Fest continues with the perfect pair. The pair of finishes on this pair is natural and an electric lime green. I'm a big fan of really tasty pears, but this one, I'd call it more of a zesty lime, but I see what they're going for. We've seen a few similarly spec'd out guitars as to this one. Has a nice dark rosewood fretboard with a cool streak. But like that last one, it's a satin back and sides, paired with a glossy top, including our headstock. And oh, it's got the modern style knobs on it. Next, we're getting a little bit spicy on a 339. I think I would have called it guacamole something, as most of the jalapeno peppers that I've seen aren't usually that color. But if you're not familiar with the 339, it's essentially the body size of a Les Paul, but still constructed like your favorite ES335. But hey, they gave the neck the same finish, and it appears to be the gloss treatment everywhere else. And I like the black and green up here. Mother of pearl Gibson logos too. Now our next one's already found a home. It's called Glacial Blue Ice. And similar to the Dire Wolf SG we've documented once, they painted kind of a neck through like design, but they didn't do the full job. It's just one singular stripe with 2 pinstripes in between it. I'm not surprised this one sold though. It's a very nice look, nice and symmetrical. And on top of that, just a really nice flat icy blue color. And then we also have the see-through pick guard, black plastics, surprisingly poppin'. They didn't skimp on the back either. Although, I'm very curious, do you think they did it along the edge? But they continue the blackout treatment for our tuners and the satin finish up here. But okay. I missed that on launch day. They also did a little pinstriped stinger back here, I guess you could say. That's a super long extended stinger too. And we continue our food fun, this time green bean glitter. But it is a 70s Les Paul custom, so that made me excited. It's not my favorite, but I could see how it could speak to someone at some point. It's just a kind of off-green, yellowish sparkle. I mean, they came up with the perfect name, but what I really like is they left the maple neck natural. Because that's one of the unique specs to the 70s Les Paul Custom. They continued the paint scheme on the back, though. But something about being able to see that maple neck just makes it fun to me. In fact, it really just feels foreign looking at it like that. Perhaps a light dark brown stain could have worked better, like where the beans are hanging from their plant. But of course, we get our volute here. And to be fair, there's no premium on that one at all. If you were going to buy a 70s Les Paul Custom anyways, I guess you might as well get one that's special. Stepping on over to the EU side of things. Perhaps my favorite this week is just the Twilight Blue 60 Standard. It's metallic. It still has the flame top. It's a teardrop-shaped burst. It's got everything that I like about a guitar, and the new black plastics are working well with what they've got here. So much to take in, because we also got the golden hardware. This thing's just crazy. They did not continue the burst job onto the back. This looks like a limited edition of 200 guitars that becomes collector's items later on. You guys check out our pearloid tips with locking Grover tuners. Nice. And there is a bit of a color shifting effect going on with our neck. I was noticing that in this photo, so that means you can bet the rest of the back of the guitar does the exact same thing. It's just the light's hitting it in different angles. Perhaps this is why the last one wasn't called Avocado. They did have one. Deo Avocado. Yep, an aged one, all right. Kind of a brownish green. It pairs well with an ES335 instrument, though. They pull off exotic colors pretty well, but what happened to our serial number? It's like gone. But okay, apparently it's actually slightly metallic, and if you come over here, it might have been sprayed a ruby red, or that's just the original red that this thing started life as, so it's a whole multi-tone thing. I would have never expected that one to be metallic. And wrapping these guys up, we've got the Satinbury. You got the natural back, you got kind of a light reddish pink top, this time decked out in black plastics, including a Les Paul Customs multiply pick guard. They also upgraded it to your golden hardware. And okay, another stinger back here. Not sure how well those colors play together, but I'm glad they did something different. Or should I say extra. Next we can talk about the Gibson Demo Shop. One of the inspired by Gibson Custom Shop Epiphones, the 59 reissue. These are great guitars. And I don't remember too many of these flowing through the Gibson Demo Shop. But what stood out to me most about this one is it's got some sort of a red dot on the back. I'm not sure what that's about. This SG Standard has a very unique TV yellow hue to it. It's a bit darker than the rest, and it's got so much wood grain. Figured somebody might like to see that. And I think it just comes down to the color of mahogany, because even the neck is like a little bit obnoxiously orange. Maybe that's why it was thrown into the demo shop, is the colors weren't completely even, but I kind of dig it. Oh, that's probably the true reason. They rubbed through the TV yellow during the buffing process. This is just a seemingly regular Les Paul Studio in Blueberry Burst, but I wanted to compliment the photos of this one because they took the time to show something that maybe you like, maybe you don't. There's these weird mineral streak lines right here by the pickguard. And now that they've been pointed out, you can see them over here. I like them. I think it gives it character, but I could also see how somebody would be like, yuck. There's Epiphone USA Frontier. I didn't even realize it was left-handed till just right now, but they removed the pickguard, which just makes it look so boring and plain, like some sort of a knockoff guitar. And then we've got these really pale natural maple backs. That's an interesting model with the Howard Roberts style inlays. And that's a USA made Epiphone. Okay. That's one I haven't really paid much attention to. What does the original pickguard even look like? Oh, okay. It is a bit big and boisterous. Then you got the pokey cacti on it. That's fun. But this SG Junior Dark Walnut sold really quickly because it had some interesting figuring within the neck. Not a lot, just a little bit back here on the stock. If you wanted figured body, you had to have caught this one before it sold. SG Special Vintage Cherry Red. It's got all that cool Sapele flame stuff going on. That was a good one. I don't blame the guy for looking past the visible seam line. That's one you're just proud to own. And speaking of proud to own, there was a unique grain on this Junior double cut. It's got this like lightning design going on, and it's one of the Gibson.com exclusive versions because you've got the pepperoni pick guard. But all right, troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed the recap this week, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.